Moving to the UK can be exciting but with challenging experience, especially having to adjust to the new workplace routine, communication style, culture shock, and how to meet up with certain expectations. Understanding all of the above would definitely help an immigrant settle in properly. In this very content today, I will be sharing with you a lot of expectations, including your work rights, what you are expected to know as a new employee in the UK work environment, including punctuality and workplace etiquette to socializing so that you know what to expect and how to thrive in a British work environment. Meanwhile, my name is Chinyere Ojike. Thank you once again for clicking to watch. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more upload as this. All right, so here are 12 UK work culture an immigrant skilled worker or unskilled worker should expect to see. One is punctuality. Generally in the UK, punctuality is seen as a mark of commitment and respect in a place of work. Arriving late to work or meetings without a reasonable excuse can be frowned upon. Many workplaces have strict policies on punctuality, and lateness can actually, influence your reputation or impact on your reputation. Yes, your employer might want to put that on your reference when you seek a reference request from your employer. They can record that you are always late to work. You are never punctual for no reason. So this would definitely impact on your future chances of getting employed in a different place. Punctuality is a thing here. You better be 5 minutes earlier than the main time, or even 10 minutes earlier than coming 5 minutes late without any cogent reasons. If you know that you'll be running late to work, call your workplace, call your manager, let them know, even as an agency worker, that they've not seen you in that workplace. I do that to a new place as well. I will just check up or call my agency to say, please, can you call my workplace? Tell them that I am stuck, blah, blah, blah. I'll be 10 minutes late. They respect this a lot. On arrival, they would welcome you. You called earlier. Oh, I got that message from your agency. They like that. Then you just turning up without calling them to say, this was the reason I came late. Number two, work-life balance. Many employers generally encourage work-life balance, with many of them encouraging staff to finish and leave work on time. Has your employer ever encouraged you to, round up quickly and leave work on time? I want to read that in the comment section, please. Moreover, overtime is not something that is always expected of you at work, and employers constantly encourage people to take their holiday. I remember doing my first healthcare work in this place. My employer reminded me of taking my holiday before April. If I did not take all my holidays, then I was going to lose that. Once it is April, the new holiday season would refresh. So I was encouraged by my employer not to lose my holiday periods. I don't know if you have ever had that by your employers. I've learned some people who say their employers might not tell them about their holiday, blah, blah, blah. No, you're right. This is what we are talking about in this very video. Then it is also said that in places like finance, maybe people working in the bank and law firms, that long hours is something very common among them. Possibly they do overtime. This is what this means. I don't know. If you work with a law firm, finance, let me know if long hours is something that is common among your field of work. I know about customer service, all of those salespeople working from home. Some of them start 6 to 6, depending. Some of them are very flexible, hybrid. You work from home, depending on your agreed time. Yes, but I cannot start work 6 a.m. I'll be finishing 9 p.m. I've seen certain jobs starting times like that, not for a mother. Number three, hierarchy and workplace formality. Why do UK workplaces have structure and hierarchy? They often promote open communication among staff in different levels. Many managers actually prefer collaborative approach rather than rigid authority over their subjects. However, respecting hierarchy, addressing superiors properly, and following procedures are still very much important. Yes, my workplace, I still cite an example with that. Our managers, there was this Yoruba young man that comes to work. Each time he sees our manager, who was at that time 60 or thereabout, he would always address her as Ma. Good morning, Ma. And he would genuflect. The woman would be like, what? And other ladies, good morning, they started making jest of that, making fun of that, but this is the way we are in our country, especially in the western part of Lagos, the Yoruba or Nigeria, precisely, western part of Nigeria. Even now when I greet people, I tend to bow. I don't know why, genuflect. Yeah, that's common among the Igbos as well. But the Yorubas, they do that. They prostrate on the ground, self. That boy even did that in one of the occasions at work. The manager was like, no, 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 no. Oh my God. So this is also important. Respecting hierarchies and addressing seniors properly is something that is considered very much important. Despite the high levels of open communication in the UK, this is also seen among this is also seen in the institutions of higher learning where um, students address their lecturers by their first name, even in primary school, secondary school. Primary school, they put Miss, yes, Mrs. and Miss. In secondary school, they address their teachers as in Miss, Mrs., but in the higher institution, I am a witness to that. It's just hello, Karen. Hello, Steve. Hello, Paul. These are professors. Man, we are not like that in my country. Oh boy. Number 4, small talk is a kind of thing that is very much common in workplaces in the UK. What do I mean by small talk? Where they have this chat, they ask you, how was your weekend? Have you got anything are you planning anything good for the weekend? You meet a British person within 5 seconds, the person has told you their life history. I've married 5 times, my ex-boyfriend, my stepchild, my stepdad, my this, my mom. They tell you everything on a go and expect them to ask you the same. In fact, they expect you to return the same. Tell them your history if you can, about your relationship, your children, your workplace, your plan for the weekend, date night, blah, blah, blah. I was told in one of the occasions, a nurse told me that she had a one-night stand many years ago. I was like, what? One night stand. She didn't even know the person she had that one night stand. No phone contact, nothing. A nurse. That was 10 years ago in Bolton. I said, what? 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 A British person is open to tell you that he or she has failed their driving test, he or she has failed their course, they are doing carryover, blah, blah. I failed it, I'm scared. I'm scared of doing it today. I was in exam where somebody came to tell me that she failed the course. I said, please do not bring bad luck, can't give me as I want to enter. As I'm about to enter, go do my exam. Why are you telling me inside of me? I said, why are you telling me how you failed this course? They don't hide anything. This is something very common among the British people, and this happens a lot at workplaces. So expect communication. They call it small talks. Yes, it happens a lot here. Number 5, email etiquette. It's something very much important in the workplaces in the UK. When writing your manager, you have to address them as their hello and make it more structured, more polite and formal. It is expected that you do so. Don't be rude. Yes. Instead of running into your manager on the work hall and say, excuse me, Mrs. Da 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 da. Can I stay off blah 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 for this reason? Do that through email. Make it formal so that it should be documented and use polite words. Ending it with kind regards, best wishes. That is more acceptable than verbal communication all the time. Yes, so that when something happens, they could refer back to your email. Number 6, teamwork is something that is highly valued and recommended in the UK workplaces. Yes, they emphasize solely on a collaborative teamwork than an individual achievement, because generally employees are encouraged to contribute ideas and support each other at workplaces. Being a good team player can actually help with career progression and promote workplace relationships. 7, socializing outside workplace. The UK work culture usually emphasizes more on socialization outside of workplaces. This includes having a gathering in a pub, restaurant, having a drink, birthday parties and all what have you. Yes, you can actually participate in all of this because it helps in promoting your relationship between your work colleagues. You can also say no, decline politely. Nobody would hold it against you, and it would not affect your career in any way when you politely say no. I won't be attending. Apologies, please. Number 8, UK workplaces are basically multicultural. Yes, employers basically employ people from different background, different cultural backgrounds. However, they promote inclusivity and respect for different cultures and religions. It is common to see workplace policies supporting diversity and inclusion in all aspects. There are people from different backgrounds endeavor to respect their culture, respect their food, don't make faces when others are eating. Like even in Nigeria in general, people have different eating habits. If you don't like a wedu soup and the Yoruba person is eating it, you don't have to do your face like this. After all, a Yoruba person may not have tasted okwa or even abacha. So learn to respect people's culture. Like the Indians, some of them, they use honey to cook their chicken, use okra to cook stew. When you say things like that, just smile, okay, and move on. Respect that. Do not go against any other person's culture or way of eating in workplaces to avoid entering into big soup. Number 9, office banter and British humor. You have to understand that workplace humor is something that is very much common and a part of British work culture. Sometimes it can be very, very sarcastic and deprecating, but in doing that, you have to be sensitive. Yes, when you create these funny jokes, for instance, telling someone that you are becoming too fat and blah blah blah, the person might think that you don't even call somebody fat in this country, but in Nigeria, my country, you can say, "Oh, Kiba, like you are eating and expanding. It is free. Somebody can laugh over it, but here you will land yourself to court because the person you say that will be depressed at that minute and will leave work." So just be sensitive. Yes, don't go overboard when joking. Process your joke before you say it here. Number 10 is something they call performance reviews and progress feedback. It is something that is very common in the UK workplaces here to discuss how you are progressing, the difficulties you are facing at work. I did that a couple of times when I was employed in a permanent place. Even as an agency worker, sometimes they call me to do that review. Today at 4:20 p.m. I'm going to my son's school for progress review. They also do this with students. Imagine, I think this week, since Monday, it has been parents teacher chat evening, talking about your child's progress review. This is also common at workplace when they call you to ask you. They will call you into the office. How is it going? How is your work? Are you finding anything difficult? Is there anything they can help you with? This is called work progress reviews and feedback. Very much necessary in workplaces in the UK. Number 11, dress codes can vary. Many UK workplaces have strict professional dress codes. Some places dress code can vary. Some would say, come on, dress casual. The last place I work as a carer, we don't wear uniform, whatever. The thing they wear to work. We never had that in that workplace. We use apron, disposable apron precisely. This is a care home I'm talking about. But in some of all these care homes, they wear their either blue, white, depending on the color. But some offices do not allow that. Shop floors, blah, blah, blah. You just have to respect that. Wear the uniform, dress code, whatever it is to work to avoid getting into trouble. Finally, the last point, which is strong worker rights and protection. Many UK workplaces, they have strong emphasis on workers' right and protection. Know your minimum wage. Know when you are entitled to sick leave, holiday leave. These are your rights that you should know. And when you are unfairly dismissed, you should stand up for it. There is a protection for it when you are sure that you were wrongly accused of anything at work. You can fight back if you know your right. If you don't know your right, you will lose entirely. Currently, there's this particular nurse in London. They say she's been working for the past 12 years. Even the British people are currently campaigning for this nurse. What happened? She misaddressed somebody, a man that came in, a man wearing a wig. She misplaced his pronoun or her pronoun. Myself, I'm confused. So the nurse, addressed this patient as he instead of she. That was the problem. And the hospital was against the nurse. So everybody is campaigning that the hospital did something wrong. They should have stood for the nurse serving them in the last 12 years. Funny enough, the nurse is an immigrant, you know. So definitely she's gonna win because you don't expect me, a man that walked into my office wearing wig, I would definitely address him as a he, not as a she, unless I ask or unless he says otherwise, isn't it? So they said the man just fumed up and started creating scenes and all of that. It is crazy. So basically, knowing your right can actually help ensure that you are treated fairly at the place of work in the UK. All right. Thank you once again for giving me your audience. I sincerely appreciate your time. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more videos as this.